Before the web, there was the tape drive, a 1979 archiving tool called tar bundled files for reels. Decades later, paired with Gzip, it became the secret behind lightning-fast downloads. Here's how a relic saved the internet. In the early internet, limited bandwidth made downloading large files a slow ordeal. A single software package could take hours to transfer over a dial-up connection. Born in 1979 at AT&T, tar bundled multiple files into one archive for efficient tape storage. This foundational tool later enabled effective compression for the web. Tar archived files without compression. The resulting archive was the same size as the original files, limiting its utility for network transfers that would require bandwidth savings. As storage and networks expanded rapidly in the 1980s, reducing data size became critical. Compression algorithms evolved to eliminate redundancy, paving the way for efficient transmission. In 1992, Jean-Louis Gailey and Mark Adler released Gzip, a free and improved compression tool. It rapidly replaced Compress, becoming the standard on Unix-like systems. Gzip's efficiency comes from the deflate algorithm, which combines LZ77 sliding window compression with Huffman coding, balancing speed and compression ratio. By piping tar's output into Gzip, users created tar.gz files, effectively merging archiving with compression into a single format that became the software distribution standard. Tar collects files and metadata into one stream. Gzip compresses that stream. In reverse, Gzip decompresses the stream, and tar splits it back into individual files. Unlike Gzip, tar preserves file permissions and directory structures. Its sequential stream design works perfectly with pipes and tape drives, making it ideal for Unix workflows. By the 1990s, every Unix and Linux distribution adopted tar.gz for source code and binary distribution. This format became the de facto universal standard, synonymous with open-source software worldwide. Projects like GCC, the Linux kernel, and thousands of utilities standardized on tar.gz distribution. This practice continues today, making it the default packaging method for open source. When the web emerged, HTTP introduced content encoding negotiation. Browsers could request Gzip compressed files. Servers responded with compressed versions, slashing bandwidth. By the mid-2000s, all major browsers, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, and Safari, natively supported Gzip decompression, making faster page loads automatic for users. The browser's Gzip decompression is transparent. It automatically decodes compressed responses before rendering, so you see the original content while fewer bytes travel across the network. This compression slashes page weight dramatically. A 500 kilobytes page may shrink to just 100 kilobytes, speeding up load times, especially on slow connections. On the open web, Gzip compression cuts total bandwidth by about 40%. For text-heavy sites, that figure climbs above 60%, saving money and load time. Newer algorithms like Bzip2 and ZSTD offer better compression or speed, but Gzip's universal browser support and seamless integration keep it the unchallenged web standard. In the modern web landscape, Gzip remains the universal baseline for compression. Though Brotli is gaining traction for better ratios, Gzip's near-universal support ensures it stays as the essential fallback for broad compatibility. Container images are distributed as layers, each tar archive compressed with Gzip. This enables fast downloads and efficient storage in registries, a key innovation in modern deployment. Unlike Gzip's individual compression allowing random access, tar streams files together. Then Gzip compresses the whole archive, giving better compression for large sets like software packages. Jean-Louis Gailey and Mark Adler created Gzip, building on Phil Katz's Deflate, while AT&T engineers developed tar. Their work is the foundation of software distribution. Deflate combines LZ77, which replaces duplicate strings with references, and Huffman coding for efficient bit usage. Being patent-free, it became the backbone of Gzip and PNG compression. Gzip may not achieve the best compression. LZMA and Brotli surpass it, but for real-time web compression, its speed and low memory use are unbeatable. Brotli and Standard now offer better compression ratios, but Gzip's speed and simplicity ensure its survival in legacy systems. The future is a hybrid approach. Despite modern alternatives like Brotli, tar and Gzip's elegance and backward compatibility keep them vital, saving bandwidth daily. Their 80s design remains a cornerstone of internet efficiency. Tar and Gzip together turn huge software packages into lean downloads. They enabled HTTP compression, shrinking web pages by 70% or more. From tapes to containers, their legacy endures. This 80-second solution still powers modern bandwidth savings. If you enjoyed seeing how old tech changed the web, hit like and subscribe for more stories about foundational algorithms. Share this with a developer who still uses tar. They might appreciate its history. Until next time, keep compressing.